You see, the title of this podcast sort of signifies some things that you should be doing right now to have a breakthrough performance in 2025. And that's exactly right. Vision, road mapping, really important. But there are some things on the day-to-day that also are building towards really ensuring that your actions and commitments and efforts gain the biggest traction possible when we do come out and emerge from the holidays. Part 3 is all about foundational habits. Here's some things that are so important. You've heard me talk before about the Sunday special, an organizational, simple habit that we have athletes and leaders do every single Sunday. Now, it doesn't need to be Sunday, but it emerged out of this process, emerged out of my work with professional athletes, where quite often they sort of act like teenagers and continually were challenged with all of the competing demands that they had, because it's a really tough life. They're not only training a lot, they've got to massage, they've got to plan their eating, they've got to take naps, they've got to work on their brands and sponsorship. They've got a huge amount of competing demands in life. And quite often we would see them in reactive states. Oh my goodness me, I don't even have food and I haven't thought about that. So we deployed something called the Sunday Special to help them with their organizational effectiveness, to ensure that they were prioritized and also had clarity on when they had to show up for the really big sessions. And the impact of this is it gave them a sense of control over their weeks. That was number one. And number two, their adherence to the key principles of our methodology skyrocketed. So not only did they feel better and under control, but they actually did the things that were necessary to move them in the right direction. And I think it's the backbone of how we had so much continual consistency and a lack of injury over the course of our athletes. We now utilize this across all Purple Patch athletes. The busiest time-starved leaders that I work with at major organizations, they all utilize a Sunday special or something like it. And I'm sure you might be listening and saying, yeah, I plan my week. But my question is, do you plan all components of your week in one simple exercise? For me, it starts with life. What are my commitments across life? Whether you've got the dentist or you're coaching Johnny's soccer team, it doesn't really matter. And coordinating that with your partner, if you have a partner, so that you have clarity and you have a set of commitments. Boom, that's foundational. The second part of it, well, for a professional athlete, it would be planning their training. But for us, it's about planning work. What do we need to do this week? What are the things that you are going to focus on? What can you actually relegate to weeks following? Even though they might be important, it might not be critical for this week, and ensuring that you're showing up in execution mode, ready every single week. And then finally, how are you planning and integrating your exercise and other habits? Proper sleep, downtime and social engagements, eating well, etc. This should be a process that takes, no more than 20 or 30 minutes every Sunday. But it ensures that you gain a sense of control, vicious prioritization on your actions, and you move into the start of the week in execution mode. And it is stunningly simple, but most people don't do it. This is something that's hard to integrate once you're in a vortex of a massive amount of competing demands. And so start it now, before the holidays. Carry it through the holidays so that before you hit that first week in January, you're ready to go. Start to build this habit. It is a catalyst. A second thing, start your foundational eating habits. We just had a podcast show just a couple of weeks ago with Scott Tyndall where we talked about foundational eating habits. But really simple. Look, when you're going hitting the holidays, you might have a few extra holiday parties, maybe a little extra alcohol. You've got some cookies. If you're English, you've got some Christmas pudding. All fine. But on a day-to-day basis, there's nothing preventing you right now from consuming enough protein throughout the day, about 1 gram per pound of your body weight. There's nothing preventing you from piling on the fruits and veggies, getting 30, 40, 50 grams of fiber over the day, which is a real challenge. There's nothing stopping you from making sure that every meal begins with your protein and vegetables. Then you layer on the extra fun stuff as you have appetite. Excess is okay at the holiday time, but let's set it on a foundation of really good eating habits. Sleep routine, dial it in. Try and get to bed at a regular time. Ensure that you're setting yourself up for the best quality of sleep possible. If you can, try and consume your last meal 2 to 3 hours before bed. Start to build this habit now so that you're not trying to layer on too much when you flip the switch and you start to think about the year ahead. And finally, hydration. Zero excuses. When you get off this show, I encourage you to pause. Take 3 glasses of water. Start a stopwatch. Click. Ready, go. You got 2 minutes. Drink 3 glasses of water. Just small glasses. Do it. Over 2 minutes. It's not a race. Just do it. That's what you want to do every single day to start your day. Restores hydration status from the fluids that you've lost overnight, about a litre of fluid, 33 ounces of water. Make sure that you boost your energy, cognitive function, stabilize the system, and then over the course of the day, repeat that process twice. Now, you don't need to down 3 glasses of water at once, but you do need to try and consume 2 to 3 litres of fluid over the course of every single day. And there is no reason, big parties or otherwise, traveling or otherwise, there's no reason for you to not build that habit now. A bonus one for the athletes, get technical. Skill development, very simple. If you want to have a great endurance breakthrough next year, what should you be doing in the last few weeks? Strength, technical development, skills. Nothing else. Don't worry about anything else. Set the tone for workout execution. I just heard a great thing from a good mate of mine, Steve Magnus. He said, you want to win the workout. And that's a really smart thing. Training successfully is not about bursting through barriers where you go to new heights and you do something special every single session or every single week. In fact, what great breakthroughs emerge from is consistency of effective training week after week, month after month, year after year. And in order to do that, you need to win at more workouts than you fail. And so shift the mindset, dial in strength, build your technique and skills, and get going on from there. So those are the 3 things, folks. Get your vision, roadmap it, build your habits. If you do that now, you're going to be sitting happy and under control. You can enjoy your holidays. And then when it's the natural human condition to get going in the new year, you can be a new you.